Oh wait, now we're nearing my favorite boss fight in the game, Cala Maria. Is it my favorite? No, actually, there's one that I like more than this that we haven't got to yet. I just really like the plain boss fights, and I like this one for a number of reasons. But I don't know, this one's just so fun. They tweaked it a bit after release so that she has like more parry opportunities and her attacks are a bit more fair, which is all around great changes. I like that they did go back and like fix some of the stuff that wasn't perfect on launch. That's just really nice of them. It makes the experience all the better every time. Because it used to be that you could only get parries in this like pufferfish attack. Now you can get them here in the red fish attack, in a couple others. A couple others I believe as well. I just remember this one though because she just shot it at me. Like you see, you can get a lot of parry options now. And obviously, well, the whole gimmick of the fight is that she's like Medusa and she freezes you in stone, which is just really fun. I like it, I like that. And you have to like mash your way out of it. I forget about the eels. I don't like the eels, actually, shockingly. I think you can actually parry their attacks though, right?
Bye,
oh, yeah,
have a great time!
Oh, there you go. Last phase. Oh, I got ballsy, I got cocky, you know. For the second phase, I recommend preemptively dodging these things in case the snakes freeze you. Just because they can catch you and freeze you at inopportune times if you stray too far. Or if you're stupid like me. Ah, there you go. There you go. Lovely. And look at that, like the little animation of him playing the violin as they die. Like, that's... Come on, how can you not love this game? Everything about it is so lovely. It's one of those things that's just sort of like, it's so fucking well made and so fun that like, it's impossible not to at least respect the hell out of it. Honestly, I'm not too big a fan of the mausoleums. Like, they're okay. Especially this one because they try to mix it up, but they're kind of boring. Don't get me wrong, it's not like a terrible part of the game, it's just not a very fun one. Like, yeah, it's like, yeah, like you get the supers and whatnot, and like parrying is a really fun mechanic, but I don't know, it's just not that engaging. If they're a bit tougher, maybe, but they're pretty easy as is. That's a crazy chain. Honestly, yeah, MDHR Studios are so good at what they do. I wonder what they're gonna do next, because they seem to be done with Cuphead, at least for now. A couple of years ago, I think, they released the DLC, the Delicious Last Course. So honestly, yeah, I would understand if people are if they want to move on to a different project. It's a bit of a shame, don't get me wrong, because like these games are so good. But I get it. Every game has its life cycle, and it would be unfair if the company became overshadowed and just became like the Cuphead company, because there's a lot of places where such a great indie studio like them can go. Like, they're still like at the start of their career, basically. Yeah, the DLC came out, and I've already played it, of course. I played it with my sister, too, when that came out. Oh, but, it was really good. I think it's some of the best parts of the game. Like, again, people were complaining because, like, yeah, it's short. It's only, like, what, like, 4 new boss fights? And, like, no run-and-gun levels, I don't believe so, no. But you gotta understand how tough it really is to make a single anything in this game, like boss fight, level, anything. It's so hard and takes so much. Ah, why am I here? I didn't mean to jump so high. It takes so much time and effort that, like, sure, you can say that they. No, I can't believe I died to the rat. I can't believe I died to the rat. I was just talking about how easy this boss fight is. But yeah, the rat boss fight's also pretty easy. Werner Wernerman is a very easy boss fight. I'm just stupid. And I start to talk and I get so enveloped in what I'm talking about that I forget that I'm playing a video game. I understand that there was a long wait, like 4 years between the DLC and the actual and the game. I gotta understand, like, yeah, not only is it a lot of work, but also it's a very small team, and the pandemic happened. Don't forget about that. Like, everything got delayed because of that. Because realistically, I was such a stranglehold on everything in the like entertainment industries, and just in the world in general, quite frankly. Everything sort of slowed down for like a couple years. I couldn't be happier with the actual product that we got. It's such a good DLC. Because it fundamentally, it's not just like more boss fights and more of the same. Like they added Chalice. Alice? I can't remember her name. Which is a whole new character, which with completely different mechanics to both Cuphead and Mugman. It's just like, realistically, they changed so much. Like you can go back and replay the base game with Chalice, and it's gonna be a different experience. I'm not doing that personally, just because I prefer playing as Mugman and Cuphead, you know, because that's what I've always played. That's what I've done all the time, and it's what I'm used to. But she's still a really cool character, like really fun to play. Like fundamentally, she changes a lot of things about how you interact with the game. Like she has a double jump, she has like an invulnerable dash, she parries with her dash instead of a double jump. And I actually like this run and gun level. It's one of my favorites, I think. I don't know, I'm a sucker for a sort of like western mining aesthetic, you know what I mean? And then it goes absolutely batshit crazy at the end with like a cyclops and shit. It's just fun. It's just a cool level. I've never been too much of a fan of shmups, but honestly, this was basically one of the few shmups I've actually played. And I really love it. It's one of my favorite games. Maybe not of all time, but definitely one of my favorite like little indie projects that I've played. Give me that. No! That doesn't count as a death, okay? I just missed a coin, and I don't wanna not get a coin. A bit of a pain, but it's my own fault. I just forgot about it, honestly. Bum, bum, bum. There you go. it's the baby dragon from Clash Royale. I used to be into that game. I guess a lot of guys my age were back in the old days. I'm acting as if I'm old. I'm really young. I just like to act like I'm like a fucking boomer. Indie games are such a goddamn baggaged fucking like market, because like obviously it's much easier for a AAA game to get bought and like sold en masse. Many beautiful, fantastic indies go completely under the radar, because most of the times when an indie game like pops off, it's because of YouTube. Like Five Nights at Freddy's, obviously, is like a prime example. More recently, like Lethal Company. I'm not saying that their success is because of YouTube, but it's partly because YouTube helps people get to know of these, like, you know, smaller budget, smaller team games. It's a shame that a lot of them don't appreciate it, and even then, like look at this year's Game Awards, man. Like Pizza Tower was a super awesome game. I haven't played it myself, but it looks really fun. Yeah, it was very popular because of YouTube. So, and when Cocoon won over it, people were super angry. They're like, imagine going to a ceremony just to, after your game is like a super hit on YouTube or whatever, just to lose to a game that nobody's heard of. It's like, it's not about if you've heard about the game or not. It's about like what is the better game. Not that there's ever an objectively better game. People can have their opinions. But to say that the team behind Cocoon should have lost just because it's not as popular as Pizza Tower is very, very just disrespectful to the awesome work they put into that game, which I'm going to play it. Which one should have won? Which one should have lost? I don't know. I haven't played either game. But it is sad to see people have those sort of attitudes just because it's an indie game that isn't popular. It's very sad. And even with Lethal Company now, that Lethal Company, it's a one-man team, by the way. It's one, like, furry that made the entire game, and it's super fun. I have videos on the channel of me playing it with friends, and it's such a fun game. Like, wait, yeah, like, I love it, obviously. As a fan of horror and like co-op experiences, that game was just perfect, and so it was such a fun time. But even with that game, people were discrediting the creator, being like, "Oh, it's just like an indie, was it like a YouTube slop game?" It's like, no, there's more reasons to why the game is successful than just the fact that it's popular in YouTube. It's successful because it's genuinely fun. Don't discredit that man's like hard work, because he programmed and made and modeled everything himself. That's not easy. That's very difficult, actually. So don't discredit all of his hard work just because maybe you don't like the game. It's not even that they're saying that it's famous because of YouTube, because it kind of isn't, you know, like YouTube helps popularize those small indie games. But it's not that they're saying that it's popular because of that, because I wouldn't argue with that, because that really does help. What they're saying is that it's bad, and it's only popular because of that. People just say that it's bad, and they only, oh, what the hell, that wasn't my intention. And that its only saving grace is that it's funny for YouTube. Which is like, no, the game is fun. And the game has a lot of hard work to it. Don't get me wrong, it's a very simple game. And maybe a lot of people won't like it. Maybe it's not their cup of tea, personally. But that doesn't mean that it's just a YouTube slop game. It just means you don't like it. They made this attack super easy, by the way. It used to be very difficult, or like at least seemed to be. I don't know what they actually changed, but they added parries for one. And I don't know, it just feels a lot simpler, because this boss fight was a nightmare to deal with. At least people were very afraid of it. Like, it was always a simple boss fight, but people used to be very afraid of this boss fight. Partly because at the beginning, like, if you died during the first phase, like when you have to shoot specific body parts of the robot, it didn't used to show your progress bar when you died, because it just counted everything. It counted the entire boss fight as like 1 health bar, so it didn't count any specific damage, so people thought it was like a super long boss fight, and I guess that broke their mental, but you know, they changed that, and they changed a bunch of other stuff, and it's a simple boss fight now. At least I think. It's on the easier end, in my opinion. I don't know, just show some love to indie developers. They're so good, and they deserve a lot of support that naturally they're never gonna get because they don't have the big budget that like AAA studios have. For a fifth of the price, you can get a much more loving experience than many AAA studios give you nowadays. This is also a super easy boss fight, by the way. This one of the ones I thought about. I would argue it's probably the second or third easiest boss fight in the game. It's very simple, very simple. You just... Oh, what? That was bullshit, and you know it. I have to talk shit, you know, it's like the saying goes, talk shit, get hit, and whatnot, dude. This one also has a secret phase that I forgot about until right now, where I can't reach it, but you know. I used to have a friend actually talking about indie games. I have a friend actually that he said back in the old days when Undertale was like very popular, you know, I think he's since changed his mind because we forced him to broaden his horizons. I did not notice that fan, that was bullshit. But he used to say like, no, I'm not playing that shitty game, look at the graphics, dude, it's all pixelated, that's such a bad game. Which is hilarious, because that's very stupid. And obviously I think he knows that that's a very stupid opinion nowadays. Because like, yeah, it's pixelated, it's trying to imitate like, you know, old NES like Earthbound in the case of Undertale and shit. And even then, like, you can't expect hyper-realism from an indie developer, like that's just not really in the cards, you know? Like, probably some people will do it. Some indie devs will do it, but it's not simple. Because they don't have the big budget and technology that big companies have. Like, yeah, I don't know, gamers are some of the stupidest people I've ever seen in my life. Of course, I'm a gamer, so and I'm not excluding myself. I myself am a moron. But I don't know, it's just like, people don't know what they want. It's like, people want everything and nothing from a game. And people are never satisfied with what they get. I don't like this boss fight, but sure. People are never satisfied with the end product. Gaming is such a, like, thankless industry. Because, like, I don't know. I'm not saying that you can't dislike games, by the way, but it's just like, I don't know, because gaming is so disposable. People see it as just, like, such a disposable... Fuck! Hold up. Such a disposable little medium. I myself am studying to become like a game developer, right? So a lot of this coming from my perspective on what I want to do when I'm forced to get a job, sadly. People complain a lot. Sometimes with good reasons, sometimes with very, very stupid reasons. I know it's a bit cocky of me to say, like, I determine what's a good reason to complain or not, but I don't know. It's like... I'm stupid. And then again, some developers are just fucking awful and horrible. Just because shameless developers like you know, like obviously Ubisoft, like we all rag on them a lot with good reason, quite frankly. I'm gonna be right back. With good reason, quite frankly. We rag on developers like Ubisoft a lot because, well, they're not exactly great. And they just pump out slop every year for mass consumption. And it's that, isn't it? Like, people complain every year, like, oh, FIFA is so fucking garbage, Assassin's Creed is so garbage, every year it's such a garbage product. But at the end of the day, those are the games that sell the most, so it's like, make up your damn mind. If you're complaining so much about it, why do you still buy it and play it so much? Oh my god! Gaming is in such a weird spot right now where no matter what you do, people are gonna complain, but at the end of the day, some really cool things are happening. Like, I don't know, like Baldur's Gate 3, I haven't played it, but from what I've seen, I haven't played it because not because it's bad or anything, but just because it isn't my cup of tea for a game. Like, I'm not like heavy into Dungeons and Dragons and the whatnot, and RPGs in general, I tend to be very, I don't know, I just get bored easily with slower games, so it's not my cup of tea, and that's why I haven't played it. But from what I've seen, from a technical standpoint, that game is awesome, dude. The amount of attention to detail and just love they put into it, it's amazing. That's why developers like Kojima are so beloved, right? Wait. Because of the attention to detail and they're trying to push the medium of video games forward. Games like Baldur's Gate 3, the attention to detail, stuff that seems like minor details will come up and your decisions will matter. Like, easily 90 hours into the game, they're gonna keep bringing stuff back up and introducing new stuff. That's insane. It's just really lovely. It's lovely to see stuff like that. Obviously, like, Kojima's working on a lot of stuff at the moment, like Death Stranding 2. That one game he has with Jordan Peele, which, like, I love both Jordan Peele and Kojima, so I'm very excited about that. And, I don't know. It's cool to see what's gonna come out. Obviously, like, in like a year and 4 months from now, supposedly, like, GTA 6 is gonna come out, which is insane. I've been replaying GTA 5 actually since they announced that GTA 6 was gonna come out. Just because, like, man, that's such an exciting little thing. Because we've waited so long for that game. No matter what, it's gonna be awesome. Or no matter what, at least, I'm gonna be happy that it came out. Because Rockstar is always so, like, loving with their video games. Like, obviously GTA 5 is a masterpiece. People are still talking about everything you can do in that game. And Red Dead Redemption 2 is also fantastic. Like, you can have your gripes with Rockstar gameplay-wise. Like, yes, they do a lot of very annoying stuff in their video games. But details-wise, you can never complain about them because they put so much love and care into every single corner of their games. Stuff that nobody notices. As much as it is a meme, like the fact that you can see how your horse's balls shrink in the winter or in cold temperatures in Red Dead 2. Completely useless, barely noticeable detail, but it's just cool that they put it in because that's just a reflection of everything else they do. Of all the detail that went into it. It's a gigantic game with so much love. Got him. That took longer than I wanted it to, actually. I don't know. And the grander games get... I don't want games to become bigger and emptier. I want games to kind of remain the same length they are, but just become fuller with stuff to do, you know what I mean? Because, like, look at Red Dead, right? Look at Red Dead Redemption 2. That map is huge, dude. Like, such a big map. It covers so much terrain. It doesn't feel that big, actually, because they made traveling really good and really fast. I forgot where the coin is on this, Oh, there it is. I'm an idiot. I didn't hug the wall. Like I was saying, like, Red Dead 2 is giant, dude. And it's just insane to see how much... I want stuff like that. Maps that are, like, that big, but that feel fuller. Because I don't want big empty maps. That's the problem with a lot of games. Even GTA 5 to some extent. I mean, it's not as hard. I'm not gonna be harsh on the game because that's a 10-year-old game at this point, and for the time it was revolutionary. Nowadays it does feel a bit emptier, but, you know, it's not their fault. Like, Rockstar can't predict the future, and can't, like, create technology, like, 10 years ahead of its time. And actually, people complain, like, with, God damn it! Such a stupid way to take damage. I'm sorry. People complained with, like, Tears of the Kingdom and But like then people said that they were like, no, it's like just a DLC because it's the same map. Like no, it is the same map with a lot more stuff. You know. I forgot what the buttons are. There you go. There's a lot to do, and Tears of the Kingdom completely changed the way you approach the map. So yes, it's basically the same map, but it's very, very different in how you approach it and what it actually is.